Moving forward, we now have a panel discussion on deploying BI analytics for better decision making. I would like to invite on stage our moderator for this session, Mr. Anshul Dureja, MD and Chief Enablement Officer, Creating Values. I would also like to take this opportunity to invite on stage the rest of the panelists. We have with us Ritu Madbhavi, Chief Information Officer, Draft FCB Ulka Advertising. Mr. Manohar Bhoi, President Technology, Electronic Payment and Services. Mr. Jagdeep Singh, Chief Information Security Officer, Rakuten India. Professor Mausam, Assistant Professor Artificial Intelligence, IIT Delhi. Mr. Ranjan Kumar, General Manager Sales, IT Division, Schneider Electric. Let's welcome them with a round of applause.
The moderator for the session. So needless to say, we are talking about BI. Most of you already know it. And probably if you weren't aware of, I think what just happened and unfolded 5 minutes back would have really made it clear that it's all about BI and analytics. Why I would say so, there was a data that there's going to be a panel discussion. The analytics of 6 people to be over here was missing. So I think that is something is the relevance from a BI perspective, that it's all about analytics and not about the data alone. First and foremost, I would like to thank Enterprise IT World to arrange such a fantastic gathering over here. I congratulate and wish all of the winners over here who are going to be awarded during the course of the day. Secondly, I also have a fantastic panel with me. Of course, they have been introduced, but I would just tell them also to, I would just introduce it from my own perspective. It's a fantastic panel I am going to moderate. So we have people from various backgrounds. So we have from academics, Mausam, and then we have Ritu, then we have Jagdeep, then we have Manohar, and then we have Shankar as well. Ranjan as well. So I think it's a pretty mixed panel. How we are going to do is, while moderating, I would be, so for the first half of the piece, I would be acting just like the nation wants to know. So I would be structuring in a way wherein, of course, don't look me like Annam. It's a salt and it's a salt and a pepper hairstyle I have, unlike him. But having said so, I would keep it pretty simple, keep on asking some of the relevant questions to them, and probably they can answer based on the combined wealth of experience they possess. And then we would leave the floor open to you for another in the last 5 to 10 minutes, wherein we would like to field more of the questions. Majority of the panel speakers have already shared with me that they would like to field more questions rather than fielding my questions. So it would be a really interactive session, and I look forward for you to make it much more lively and interactive. So my first question is to Mausam. I think you are the only odd man out over here in the entire panel, coming from a very discrete piece of academics. You are currently in the IT Daily. You have global experience per se as well. So my question to you is, what is so much important about analytics? Why everybody is running about data and analytics in today's world?
Is this on? Yes. Thank you. I completely feel odd man out here. No question about it. But I'm very happy to be here because it's my chance to speak to a gathering which I don't get to very often interact with. What is special about analytics? So I'm pretty sure you must have heard that AI is going to take over the world very soon, both jokingly as well as slightly more realistically as well. So there are a lot of physicists who believe that suddenly robots are going to kill all people. That's obviously not going to happen. But what is happening is that the field that we had been working in, artificial intelligence, which started way back in the 50s actually, for a long time kept promising that a lot of things are possible. We can make machines do a huge variety of things, including understanding who you are, understanding vision, language, getting intelligence, playing games and whatnot. But we were not promising anything. But in the last about 5 to 7 years, suddenly things have changed drastically, even for us. So from a researcher who, you just work with a few students and that's about it, suddenly everybody is interested in AI, everybody is interested in machine learning. And there's one specific reason why that has happened. Well, there are 3 reasons, but there's one very specific reason why that has happened. That is the combination of data, algorithms, and computing resource has all come together in this very beautiful way. So in the past, people used to talk about that let's build more interesting algorithms, and we have been doing this for a living. But we didn't have the supercomputers, and very few people had it. And now my machine is more powerful, my phone is more powerful than the computers of 10 years ago. So essentially, we have a lot of computing at our disposal, but not only that, that cannot solve anything. Because in order to have the machine learn any piece of intelligence, it needs to learn about the world. And the only way it can learn about the world is through data. And so suddenly, this whole combination of data, compute, and algorithms have come together to produce really magnificent results which we wouldn't have expected would be possible in the next 3-4 years. Like I remember that, I don't know how many of you know, of course chess is very well known that machines defeated Garry Kasparov in the 90s, but a couple of years ago, Google's Go player defeated sort of the Roger Federer of Go. And Go was supposed to be an extremely hard game. I myself used to believe that it will take another 10-15 years for us to be able to solve Go, but machines defeated the human champion just by the power of data, by playing games with itself and learning from whatever we know about the various games. Now this is not only in game playing, suddenly we have had tremendous and unbelievable improvements in voice recognition, amazing improvements in understanding of vision and understanding of pictures. Your Facebook recognition software can recognize your faces so much better than it could 3 years ago, and self-driving cars, and more of these things are coming together. So I can envision that in the next couple of, maybe a decade from now, we would be living in a world where machines would be doing a major ton of things for us, and they would be having an impact in pretty much every walk of life. And business and improving business is obviously one such important sphere where these machine learning AI algorithms will have a role. And the one thing that is going to power all of those algorithms is going to be data. That's
Thank you.
a long answer to your short.
Fantastic. A pretty long answer, but a very, very relevant answer as well. So Ranjan, what are your thoughts in terms of this?
So the way he said it, and he has set the context rightly, thanks for that, that everything is going to be connected. Yes, being all the CIO being here, and I understand I was interacting with the few of the CIOs here. Yes, they are talking about more about how do we get using a lot of BI and getting a lot of information in terms of how they're running day-to-day operations, right from the IT, sales, and so many other things. Then there was one, the CIO who was for manufacturing, and he said that we are trying to gather information on the machines which does productions, and how efficient they're running, how much they're going to produce on a daily basis, and all those blah, blah, blah. So I said, there's other layer also, when you talk about complete electrical systems, which are not actually connected to the ITs. And as a Schneider, we are doing many work on the IT, where each of our component, right from product, which is there, which you call up UPS, cooling, chillers, or IBMS, which we offer, anything which you talk of, even the metering, they all are onto IP. And even the component level breakers and everything we're trying to put on the IP. So the whole lot of informations and data which are coming. And in terms of, when we manage it, we go to the customer and say, look, you have a facility. You're investing so much. All your IT is lying on that basis. That's a foundation, that's a physical layer. If anything goes wrong, no matter how smart your IT, your server, your software is going to go down. So how are you going to monitor that particular physical layer in a real-time way? How are you going to analyze those data? Those data has to be thrown in. Who's going to do that for you? And there we come in and we have maintained a NOC, in fact, where we take on the complete information, complete data from the systems, throw it analytics, throw it on a mobile. So we have the mobile app, where you can access everything on the mobile, access your complete DC from anywhere you're sitting. So it's relevant in terms of one is in terms of monitoring it, in terms of incidents which is happening. Second, in terms of throwing proactive, informations by analysis. So all these are already happening in terms of the IoT, which we're doing it. So this from my side, yeah.
Fantastic. Probably I'm the only elephant in the room who's a ex-CIO and started his own company. And by virtue of it, I have experience of both working as a CIO Ritu and also in terms of today working with multiple CIOs. And what is my experience, how my experience goes is, BI is a technology tool, but for a business. And over there, there's a good amount of understanding and misunderstanding both happening at the same time, wherein uh, how do you do stakeholder management for a project like a BI? What is more difficult to you? You would have multiple years of experience. Is designing a BI solution more trickier, or probably helping them build the KPIs or letting them know you need to build the KPIs for your own business algorithms? That is the most difficult part of it.
Very, very apt question, am I audible? Yeah. Very apt question. See, one of the things, and it is not only linked to BI, I don't know how most of you feel is, but what I often find is that the business is not able to articulate what they need. You know, they have this thing and they're not, because they're not fully in the technology thing, so they cannot come and tell you, ye hame chahiye, because they don't know it is possible. So I do feel, and I've been saying this enough times, that I think CIOs are in a very privileged position in an organization. We know what the business is, we know what the technology is. We are the best guys to be able to map the technology to a business need and say, aha, this is what you do. So that is one part of it. Coming back to BI, we are an advertising agency, so I've obviously developed some tools for internal BI, which are not huge. I mean, the standard HR management and all. But what I've discovered is, trust me, it's a lovely dashboard, it gives you everything. You do something like that and you tell them, ye aaya hai, and they'll say, if there are more than 5 graphs, it's too complicated. It's too complicated, it's too technical. Yeah, you're brilliant, only you can understand this. You know, so what I have been saying is that, one, I think we have to go back to them and say, this is what I'm giving you. Look at the interesting thing which is coming, that your creative to servicing ratio is different in various organizations. Your attrition is linked to a certain client, or your attrition is linked to a certain manager. So those are the things which are coming and which come out. See, the data is there, the tools are today. I mean, honestly, today developing a BI dashboard is very easy. You can go and develop it very fast. I mean, and I'm a dinosaur. I mean, I started my career doing programming on COBOL. Okay, so, to develop something would take time. Today, 2 days you can get a dashboard which is a decent dashboard. However, I do think one of the things which I'm still struggling with is from the dashboard, I need to have insights which will throw insights in English, which will throw me 5 insights in English. So having said that, so that is one part. What we have been able to very successfully do is develop certain BI dashboards which we are using as tools for the client. So we have, say, an automotive client. We come to know what are the spends which are happening. So you actually take a trend of what are the sales happening with various competition, at what stage did the competition go up, then you go and analyze, there was a spike here, mine didn't go, was there a price? So you know, you can from the dashboard come out clearly, has the price increase impacted Krista more or some other brand more? So it's something like, but coming to your thing, I think the bigger struggle is developing, one is I think the KPIs, 90% effort has to be from CIO and 10% the stakeholder will say, हाँ मेरे को ये चाहिए. The second struggle is from the dashboard, getting them to give insights in a simple way. While they all love a fancy dashboard and say, हाँ, it looks very nice, they still want that 5 lines to hit them.
Fantastic. But you said something in terms of extension like dinosaurs. I think if Mausam has his way, and probably what he was talking about the IoT and the cognitive, I think we all would be dinosaurs. But you gave me a very interesting topic for the next event agenda. Can CIOs be the next dinosaurs? Either ways, Jagdeep, you work for a firm which is HQ headquartered out of Japan. So
yeah.
Do you really find the same sort of a challenges which Indian CIOs for Indian international firms do face in terms of building up the KPIs, doing stakeholder management? Are they